The Palmetto State Armory AR-15, or they call it the AR-47, they have it listed on their website. My upper build, or my build on this rifle, in the 7.62 by 39 caliber. Now, I built this gun about a year or so ago, and I posted a few videos about it, had some problems with it, and went over the controversy and different things there with the firing pin and hammers. And I guess I've gotten well over 3,000 views on this gun. So let's review the gun real quick. Now, this is just about the PSA upper, okay? And that's what I bought. I bought a flat top upper with the bolt and charging handle, okay? And what I did on this build is I took the upper, I got a cheap $20 A2 style handguard that clamps on there, all right? Anderson lower with an Anderson internal parts kit. I just went and bought a mil-spec buffer tube and the hardware and the spring, and then I had some leftover parts. And then the buttstock is a UTC or UTG Leapers. It's pretty neat. Kind of copies a Magpul, and it's not very expensive. I got that on the Optics Planet, and it has these two little rubber plugs for these tubes that come out for battery storage. But that's all the gun is. 1 in 10 twist rate, so it says on the barrel. And I just put it together to see if it works. Now, for a time there was all kinds of, if you mention this 7.62 by 39 build to people, they go crazy. They tell you they're junk. They tell you they don't work. All these problems. When I put this together, there was an unusual wait. Usually when you order something and it's in stock with this company, you get it within a week. Well, I was waiting 2 months. I believe the problem is, and that's what it is when you use the steel cased ammo, your firing pin has to be a little bit longer, okay? And what happened was, I think they ran out of the firing pins. So I was getting delayed in the shipping, they didn't get them in, and they sent me a gun with a normal firing pin in it. And this is where my video where I take it out, I was using Wolf ammo, and I had a bunch of light strikes, almost 50%. And that's basically Wolf steel cased ammo. I bought this a few years ago. We're all familiar with it, we all know what it is. But I noticed the ones that weren't going off, it seemed when you looked at the back of the case, the firing pin was noticeably farther down in the case. Now, if you use any brass case reloadable ammo, and what I also used was I got Red Army Standard. Now you have to be careful. They put this in the same packaging, but it's different ammo. This particular group here, it's 30 round boxes, and it's made in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And I did a review on this, and it is brass case ammo, and it's nice and flush on the back, reloadable. Not a problem. Every single cartridge went off. Now, in the panic and everything, I did find, and at times you can't get parts in there. Everybody's sold out, so it's kind of frustrating. I did find a company sent me an enhanced firing pin for 7.62 up. And when you measure it with the calipers, no matter what the hell anybody says, the firing pin was 10 thousandths long. And in the numerous discussions I had with YouTube users and other people sent me emails, I went from about a 40% light strike to maybe 5% of the Wolf ammo wasn't going off. Brass case ammo, not a problem. So, in the Wolf ammo, like I said, you could tell the primers were set back. And everyone has these theories. The Barrett primers are harder. You use the spring. I really don't think the enhanced spring, a few more pounds, would make a difference. Again, it's just basically the firing pin length. An AR-15 is made to much closer tolerances than an AK-47. And it comes down to firing pin protrusion. In other words, how far the firing pin sticks out of your bolt. Generally, 40 thousandths to 55, 60 thousandths is kind of the standard. The Russians, if you look, like the Nagants and that, they'll go out almost to 80 thousandths, okay, on some guns. Some people leave it 80 thousandths, which, you know, now you're getting into where am I going to pierce a primer or something. And you get caught in the thing that, say, to make my Wolf ammo 100% fireable, what you would do is file off, the one guy said, file another 5 thousandths or so off the inside of the firing pin to get it to stick out far, the inside lip in the back. That's fine. But if you go and fire the gun with a different type of ammo, will it pierce the primer? See, this is about the only rub with this. I had no problems feeding or anything. Now, you have to remember, I got this gun as a complete up from a company. I did not piece it together. I didn't get a barrel and try fitting it to an upper receiver or anything else. There was an article where a guy said a lot of problems with the feeding was the feed ramps, and he went in there and ground it. Well, I took this off and looked inside, and it looks like a normal M4 style feed ramps where the chamfer comes down into the actual upper receiver and mates up into the feed ramps of the barrel collar. I really can't tell, and you know, to get in there and measure it, I can't tell if it's bigger or smaller than like a 223. But it looks like a standard thing to me. You know, it's a standard setup. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly without blueprints or specs. I don't know if this is a problem. What I think the problem is a lot of these odd calibers are a little bit more expensive. And people try to kind of cheat a little. In other words, you buy a barrel, then you take a AR-15. Now the diameter of the bolt face is bigger, you know, it's because of the cartridge. I think people were trying to bore out 223 bolt heads and get them to work. That's why you had a lot of breakage. It is kind of thin. It's a lot thinner than the AR or the 223, but I haven't had any trouble, and I haven't heard. I went and just checked the reviews. They still sell this upper. They're out right at the moment. They do it with a mid-length. This has a carbine length on it. I really would have liked the mid-length, which would have put the front sight up a little bit more, but that's what they had at the time, only carbine. And another thing was magazines. Now, the only 2 magazines I've ever used are 30 rounders, and I got C products. Now, I bought 2 of these when I bought the gun. I didn't fool around with 5 or 10 round mags. I just bought a 30 rounder to see. The C products one is about $24, $25. Okay, so they're not cheap, but they work very well. Well, I was online and not paying attention, and I seen these magazines on sale for like $16, $17. So I bought a few more of them, and what they are is they're Pro Mag. I got like 3 of these because they were pretty, you know, they were under 20 bucks, which was hard to find. So, in comparing the Pro Mag to the C products, cosmetically, the C products looks better. Finish, the tack welding on the back, and all that other stuff. Plus, when you look at the stamping here for where the little magazine lock goes, this one isn't as sharp or pronounced as the C products one, but they both work well. I have not had a problem with the magazine jamming on either one of these. C Products or the Pro Mag. Okay, I went out, shot them, they work fine. I think another problem is also the gun has to kind of wear in. I really have not shot this gun a lot. Okay, I don't think I put more than maybe 200 rounds through it. And I will go into the shooting. I took it out and shot it. And I also went and purchased, just for testing purposes, another batch of red Army Standard ammo. And this is made in Russia, which it could be the same as Wolf. Comes in the same type of package. Steel cased ammo. This is, new manufactured. That one, the Wolf ammo is a couple years old. You can tell they don't make that. I don't think they make that box anymore. I fired 60 rounds of this through the rifle, and I think one, because either I didn't close the action right or whatever, I had one light strike. But 60 rounds, not a hang-up. Steel cased ammo. So the gun is slightly ammunition sensitive, okay? But as for going through the hassle of changing the firing pin spring, or not the firing pin spring, I'm sorry, the hammer spring, I don't really think it's necessary. Should you have an enhanced firing pin that's longer, and like I said, I measured the two, the one that came out and the one they sent me, it was just 10 thousandths longer overall with the calipers. Probably now, the way things are, the situation, I don't think there's going to be any more panics, and you're going to see more AR stuff available. I mean, towards the election here, production increased. You're going to probably see a glut. I mean, they're down to where you can buy a brand new AR for $500, which I don't think that price has been that low. Specialized ones are still a little bit more expensive, but it's a neat gun. And if you ask why would I want one, it's just, it does shoot well. It's 30 caliber. Compared to AK-47, AK-47s are pretty expensive. They're up around $700-800 mark. And the thing is also with the upper, you can just put it on your standard load. So you really don't need a complete rifle. You just need the upper receiver and just different magazines. Okay, and you should be good. Also, these 30 rounders will fit in AK-47 pouches and gear. Okay, so that's another neat thing. I got a lot of this stuff left over, so now I got some, ammo pouches, so I can carry on when I have to muster for the local militia. I can take my 7.62 AR with me and be all set. Now another thing about this, I haven't done it, and I may. Is take an AK-47 or an SKS and do a side-by-side with different ammo. I have some other brass case ammo and shoot it for accuracy. I have found this gun is extremely accurate. Here's a target from 200 yards that is a 5.5-inch black bullseye. And as you can see, easily, right off the bat, I was able to shoot at 200 yards with this rifle, which a lot of my military surplus guns, that can be difficult. This was easy, comfortable, and this is with steel cased ammo. If you go and reload for this cartridge, I have a friend that was doing some work, and I think he was running an SKS. He just reloaded the 7.62 by 39 with a Hornet A bullet and that, I think a VMAX or something. And he gets a 5-shot group you can cover with a quarter at 100 yards. Okay, so if you're in reloading, you can turn this gun into a super accurate weapon. I didn't get any 5 or 10 round mags. I kind of should. 30 rounders. I was thinking of selling this to use the money to get some other stuff. and I kind of had it out, had some people look at it, and the 30 round mags are nice. They, you know, the gun is used, it's not a brand new gun. So I could probably throw in the mags in, get it up close to what I got into it when it was new. But 5 or 10s, because at the range, you know, usually shooting at a distance, I'm not going to shoot a whole 30 rounds and then see where the bullet hit. You know, I was only shooting 5 rounds at a time, or a couple rounds at a time. So that's my thoughts on it. And I think a lot of the problems is, like I said, people were cobbling these rifles together, taking parts, modifying, like they'd get a barrel and try to modify the 5.56 parts to fit. But the reviews are there, people shot these guns, and I think they're even talking to use this ammo, the Red Army Standard, steel cased ammo. The gun's accurate, it's good. You know, if you're thinking of getting an upper from them, I'd say go with it. I haven't had a single mechanical problem with the gun. Okay, in other words, no misfeeds, no problem with the feed ramp, no problem with the magazines, just some of the steel cased ammo. The primers are a little bit further in and you need a longer firing pin. And like I said, the gun was supposed to come with the firing pin in it, but I think they ran out, and that's what was holding up my order. And when I called several times, they just wanted to shut me up and sent me the gun with a normal firing pin in it. And that was the whole problem. But I'm going to have a video right back after this where I'll call this part 1, my final conclusion. And then when we go to the range, shoot the gun, test out the new mag, and everything else, because I don't want to make a real super long video. So this will be part 1, and then part 2 will be out at the range, and where we go to 100 and 200 yards and shoot, and I'll show you the results. So it is an impressive gun. It's an interesting gun. You know, it's a little bit different. And if it's something you've been thinking about, then the PSA upper is the way to go. Okay, because there are some that are like the Mutant, and there's a couple companies that make a specific 7.62 build that's a little bit different, but the price is well over $1,000. I forget. I don't have that in there at all. I think it was 100 or so more than a normal AR build. So that's my conclusions on it. Like I said, I was thinking of selling it, and I went and shot it, and now I changed my mind, and probably will do more work. And I may do a video where I shoot side by side accuracy wise with the ammo with an SKS and an AK whenever I get the chance and the time to do it.